Hello, everyone. He competed in 4 Mr. Olympia tournaments and was in the same lineup with Dorian Yates, Kevin Levrone, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, and Chris Cormier. However, not every bodybuilding fan will remember the name Aaron Baker today. But in the 90s, he was one of the best bodybuilders in the world, which is rightly noted by everyone who has ever seen Aaron on stage. In this video, you will learn how it happened that with such gorgeous genetics, impressive muscle mass, quality, and proportions, this athlete has not won a single professional tournament in 10 years of performances. How Aaron Baker took revenge on the higher authorities in the person of the Wider brothers, and why his career is a vivid example of the fact that in the 90s it was better not to quarrel with the IFBB leadership. So, here we go. Aaron Baker was born on November 9, 1960 in a picturesque area of California, Marina del Rey. Aaron started training with iron as a teenager. He first became familiar with barbells and dumbbells at the age of just 14. The young man had excellent genetics and quickly managed to build up muscle volumes that were not bad for a boy of his age. And even before coming to the gym, Aaron began to get involved in wrestling, trying not to miss a single broadcast of the show. The boy always wanted to be like the heroes of these fights, to be just as strong and athletic. Perhaps this was the main reason to start bodybuilding. In 1982, at the age of 21, Aaron competed in his first bodybuilding tournament called the Junior Light Heavyweight Mr. USA. Then our hero entered the top 5, and it was a real success. A year later, Baker became the 12th at the California Amateur Championship among adults. Of course, it was difficult to call a place outside the top 10 in a regional competition a success, but nevertheless, it was quite good for a debut. Performing on stage motivated the guy. He saw his progress, dreamed of a professional card, titles, and continued to train hard because his goal was to become one of the best bodybuilders in the country. From 1986 to 1989, Baker appeared on the stage of the U.S. Championship twice, where he ranked in the top 5 and came to the Nationals tournament the same number of times. In 1986, he became the 4th, and in 1989, he stopped just a step away from victory, second only to Troy Zuccolotto. Our hero is working on himself, and in the 90s, he takes the championship of the USA in the heavyweight and in the overall standings. But there is still no hurry to get a pro card. In the 91st Grand Prix tournament held by the World Bodybuilding Federation, Aaron Baker took 6th place. It was a young federation that promised athletes good conditions and good money. It was founded in 1990 by Vince McMahon. In 1991, Aaron moved there along with Troy Zuccolotto, Barry DeMay, Mike Quinn, Gary Stridham, and Mike Christian. The federation did not last long, however, and in 1992 it was closed due to financial problems. The athletes simply had to return to the IFBB again. However, the Vader brothers could not immediately forgive the defectors for this, in their opinion, despicable act, and pushed them for a long time in all competitions. And it was probably Aaron Baker who suffered the most. Anyway, in 1993, Aaron made his debut as a professional athlete in the IFBB Federation. He takes 9th place at the Pittsburgh Pro Tournament and becomes the 12th at the Night of Champions in New York. The athlete showed excellent form, and everyone without exception was surprised by such a low place of the 33-year-old bodybuilder. That year, the audience was delighted with our hero. It was worth it only for his unforgettable guest posing in the Hungarian city of Debrecen in the image of Batman. However, it was also obvious to everyone that the Federation's resentment of the athlete was still alive. And the IFBB judges are simply not objective in their assessments of Aaron. In 1994, Baker participated in 7 tournaments. He travels around America and Europe, competes at the Grand Prix of Germany, France, championships in San Francisco and San Jose, but he can't get into the top 5 anywhere. He even shows up at the Arnold Classic, where he takes only 6th place. However, it is worth admitting that almost the entire beaumont of professional bodybuilding of that time gathered at that tournament. Vince Taylor, Porter Cottrell, Chris Cormier, Andreas Munzer. Nevertheless, Baker was able to beat such titans as Lee Priest and Mike Matarazzo. The victory was won by the magnificent Kevin Levrone. In the same year, 1994, Aaron achieves one of his most serious successes. He becomes the third Ironman pro in his native California, following Vince Taylor and Chris Cormier. This gives him hope for success at the upcoming Olympia. On September 10, 1994, he came to Atlanta for the IFBB main tournament, but did not even get into the top 10, taking 12th place. The top three are Dorian Yates, Sean Ray, and Kevin Levrone, and the future legend Ronnie Coleman only became 15th at that time. 1995 brought Baker silver awards at the Florida Pro, South Beach Pro tournaments, and a very honorable second place after the inimitable Flex Wheeler at the 1995 Ironman Pro, and also the sixth place at the Arnold Classic and only the ninth at the Olympia. It would seem that Aaron is close to the long-awaited title, but it doesn't work out in any way. After the failures, the athlete expresses his dissatisfaction with the biased judging, in his opinion, but over and over again he does not find any response. In 1996, Baker decided to take the quantity. The more starts there are, the more likely the athlete is to win. He focuses on tournaments in Europe, attending the Grand Prix Spain, Germany, UK, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Russia. And again, he's everywhere outside of the top 5. Meanwhile, Aaron is already 35 years old. His form has clearly not improved over the years, and the competition is growing. At Olympia 96, he fails again, becoming only 11th. Actually, as I've said many times, the 90s were the era of great athletes. Under the conditions of fierce rivalry and total dominance of Dorian Yates and later Ronnie Coleman, even Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, the real bodybuilding stars and public favorites, remained without the Sandow statuette at that time. What can we say about Aaron, who is in disgrace with the IFBB leadership? In 97 to 98, Baker slightly slowed down his performances, taking part in only 5 starts in 2 seasons. He is in the top 10 at Arnold Classic 97 and achieves his greatest success at Ironman Pro 98, rising to the third step of the podium after Darren Charles and Flex Wheeler. But again, as before, he fails at the Olympia, taking only 14th place. Another setback upset Aaron so much that he decided to end his competitive career. Despite his great form, he still continued to be pushed at all performances. He retires from competitive bodybuilding for several years and almost immediately appears on TV screens as a wrestler. Aaron fulfilled his childhood dream then. He became a member of the Harlem Heat wrestling team. Aaron himself, when asked about refereeing, spoke like this: "When you retired from the sport, many considered this step a consequence of your disagreement with refereeing in the federation." In this regard, how would you rate Sean Ray's speech at the press conference? Sean is absolutely right. He is one of those personalities who are able and entitled to speak out on this topic. It is no secret that the judicial system in the federation has not changed for many years. This is fundamentally wrong. Progress does not stand still, and the system must change over time, just like any subject in our world: technology, fashion, whatever. Emotions and politics should not prevail over sports results. IFBB referees need to pursue a simpler, more open and honest policy, and then bodybuilding will have everything from public interest to big prize money for athletes. Our hero has been wrestling for about 3 years. Everyone has already begun to forget about Aaron Baker, a bodybuilder, and then he unexpectedly reappears on the stage of the Ironman Pro 2003 tournament, becomes the 8th, and announces that these were his last competitions. After finishing his career, the most underrated athlete of the 90s still continued to stay in the mainstream of bodybuilding. He gave seminars, guest posed, and was a frequent guest at various exhibitions and festivals. All the success that Aaron Baker has achieved in his life has not been easy for him. He repeatedly suffered serious injuries and faced judicial arbitrariness. Despite this, dedication to strength training and bodybuilding has always remained. Having failed to win any professional competitions, Aaron Baker still became one of the best and most famous bodybuilders in the world. Many fans of iron sports even say that all its places can be safely divided into 2. Most likely, he would not have been able to take the Olympia in those years of wild competition, but he was certainly worthy of winning at least a few tournaments. Aaron is now 65 and still keeps himself in great shape. As always, I will be grateful for your support. It helps in the development of the channel. Do not forget to click on the bell so as not to miss the new issue. Thanks for watching Sports Guru with you. See you later.